Now let's continue with the central dogma of protein synthesis. Already we had discussed about the transcription, and now we are going to continue about the translation. In transcription we had studied that double stranded DNA molecule give rise to RNA. Here three types of RNA, mRNA, rRNA and tRNA is synthesized. Yes, we are going to take part in the translation process. As we know, DNA acts as a genetic material, encodes all the information required for the protein synthesis. So in the specific region of DNA that encodes the genetic information is called as gene. There can be several genes in the genome. It usually by the process of transcription, genetic information in the DNA flows in the RNA, also known as mRNA. Yes, and the information contained in mRNA is further used by the translational machinery to make protein, and this flow of information from DNA to RNA and RNA to protein synthesis is called as central dogma, which is given by Francis Crick in 1958. Yes, now before translation we will discuss about the genetic code. So genetic code is what? It is a particular sequence of nucleotide that helps which amino acid are to be linked together to form a proteins. As we know here, DNA is the master molecule of a cell that initiates, guides, regulates and controls the process of protein synthesis. The information for the synthesis of protein is where it is located, that is located in the DNA itself. About 20 different types of amino acids are involved in the process of protein synthesis. DNA molecule has 4 types of nitrogenous bases. Yes, A, T, C and G. Now here DNA molecule 4 types of nitrogen bases to identify these 20 types of amino acids. But how it is possible that 20 types of amino acids are encoded by 4 types of nitrogenous bases? So let's see here. According to Crick, this information is stored in the form of coded language. Yes, that is called as genetic code. That contains code words, or that codes are also called as codons. Now each one specifying specific amino acid. If each codon has only one nitrogenous base, then there will be 4 codons. Only 4 codons are possible. Not enough to code for 20 amino acids. Yes, now if each codon has 2 nitrogenous bases, then there will be 4 square, means 4 into 4, 16 codons. That is also not possible, not enough to code for 20 amino acids, because here 20 amino acids are required for the synthesis of proteins. So third case, if each codon has 3 nitrogenous bases, then there will be 64 codons. So 64 codons are possible in case of 3 nitrogenous bases. That is more than enough to code for 20 amino acids. So hence here the Gamow, the scientist in 1954, he suggested that in a codon there must be combination of 3 consecutive nitrogenous bases that will be sufficient to specify 20 different types of amino acids. Hence, a great physicist George Gamow in 1954 suggested that in a codon there must be combination of 3 consecutive nitrogenous bases that will be sufficient to specify 20 different types of amino acids. Now thus there would be 64 codons, code words in the dictionary of genetic code. So here we will discuss about the genetic code dictionary. So now as there are 64 codons and only 20 amino acids. So here we can see code is triplet codons are seen like UUU, UUC. These are the triplet codons, and here these are the abbreviation forms of the proteins, where PHE that indicates phenylalanine, then LEU indicates leucine, then this ILE indicates isoleucine, then this MET, this indicates methionine, Yes, then VAL, that indicates valine. This is serine, proline, threonine, alanine. Then this is triosine, histidine, glutamine. Yes, then this is asparagine, this is lysine, then this is ASP, aspartic acid, then glutamic acid, then CYS, this is cysteine, then TYP, this is tryptophan, then ARG indicates arginine, then SER, serine, then this is arginine, this is glycine. So these are the 20 amino acids, 20 amino acids which are going to code for the proteins. How this dictionary is made? You can see this is the first letter, this is the second letter, and this is the third letter. So it should be always written the same sequence, like U, C, A, G. Here U, C, A, G. You can read as UCAG. Okay, in short you can read as UCAG so that you can remember it well. UCAG. This way also, and here this way also. And here you can see 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and in each block here again UCAG, UCAG, UCAG. So how to make this dictionary? Here the first letter, the second letter. Just you can have to write the first letter and second letter like UU, 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 UU. This is the first letter and this is the second letter. The same way here, first letter C, U. Then here again CU, CU, CU in the second column you can see all CU, CU, CU. Here again the same way A, U. Like here AU, 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 all AU is written. Then here G, U. So in this way first and second letter, if first and second letters are mentioned, then you can see the third row, it is always UCAG. It is always UCAG. So you can see if the first two letters are complete, then in the third letter it is UCAG. So that you have to copy as it is. So here U, U, this U, it is U, 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 it is U, U and C, then again U, U and A, and then again U, U, G. So better you write firstly first and second letter together, and the last row you can directly copy this UCAG. UCAG. Here you can see UCAG. So likewise here we can form these triplets. Okay, that is the dictionary of genetic code, and you have to remember the name of these such amino acids which are going to code for the proteins. Yes. So this is the simplest way, and here each and every amino acids are going to bind with each other by the peptide bond. Yes. So here these 20 amino acids, you can see here the names and symbols are given. Yes. So ALA, alanine and all, already I told you the same thing, it is written here. These 20 amino acids, the name and symbols, and they are the building blocks of the protein and also called as magic 20. Yes, they are the 20 alphabets of bioprotein language. So always here amino acid, suppose amino acid 1 and this is amino acid 2, or likewise 3, 4, they all are bind with each other with the peptide bond. Yes, peptide bond. So now this way they are going to combine, and this is the symbols of the amino acid. Now can you tell me the simplest amino acid? So which is the simplest amino acid? So glycine. Glycine is the simplest amino acid, whereas tryptophan is the complex amino acid. That you need to remember. In the dictionary, if you will see here, so there is stop codon. Yes. So you can see here these two and this one, they are the stop codons, whereas methionine is always the initiation codon from where the translation process start, that is AUG. AUG always codes for start codon, and these three always present at the stop codon, that always present at the termination point, and at the initiation point always AUG, that codes for methionine, so that is the initiation codon. So these are the points which you have to remember about the start codon and about the stop codon, always 3 stop codon and 1 initiation start codon. Now let's see the characteristic of genetic code. The first character is genetic code is a triplet code. So sequence of 3 consecutive base constitute codons which specify one particular amino acid. For example, AUG, that specify particular amino acid, that is methionine, and you can see this is the triplet AUG, or we can see UUU, that is again triplet form. Like proline, if I am saying CCU, that is again triplet. So genetic code is what? Triplet code. Now for each and every living organism, here genetic code is triplet. Now genetic code has a distinct polarity, means always it can read in 5 to 3 direction and not 3 to 5 direction. Suppose this is the mRNA and here the coded information is given. Yes. So, and this is the 5' end and this is 3' end. So always we can read 5 to 3' end. Otherwise the message will change. 3 to 5' end, never. We cannot read in this way. So this is what called as genetic code has distinct polarity. So always read in 5 to 3 direction. Now next is genetic code is non-overlapping. Means here, which means after reading one triplet, reading frame shift over the other 3 nucleotide. For example, like AUG, GGU, yes, CCA, CCT. So likewise, so if this is read, then it will shift for this other 3, then it will shift for this 3, and then it is going to shift for this. So this is what called as non-overlapping, means here frame is shifting over the other 3. So adjacent codons do not overlap. So we are saying it is non-overlapping. Now genetic code is commaless. Means there is no gap, no punctuation, no comma, no any mark in between the consecutive codons. So that is genetic code is commaless. Now next is genetic code has degeneracy. So what is degeneracy? As we know, 64 codons, 20 amino acid, a single amino acid can be called by more than one codon. So this property of genetic code is called as degeneracy. For example, like cysteine has 2 codons while isoleucine has 3 codons. You can see this is isoleucine has these 3 codons, that is AUU, AUC, AUA. Likewise here proline can be called by CCU, CCC, CCA and CCG. So however, a single codon always codes for single amino acid. So here usually the single amino acid encoded by single codon. So that's we can say the genetic code has degeneracy. So now next is genetic code is universal. Universal, like by and large in all living organism, the specific codon specifies same amino acid. Example, codon AUG always specify methionine in all the organism from bacteria up to human being. Yes, so it is universal for all. So like, what does the DNA of all these organisms have common? That is, they share universal genetic code. So that's why it is called as, the genetic code is universal, because it is universal for all the organism from bacteria to human. Now next is, genetic code is non-ambiguous. So non-ambiguous, we can say if a single codon always codes for single amino acid, as we know. For example, like CCU always codes for proline. Yes, AUG always codes for methionine, and this property is called as non-ambiguity. So specific amino acid is encoded by a particular codon. They are very particular. Yes, for methionine, if we are talking, it is always AUG codes for methionine and no other codon code for methionine. So they are very specific. If I am saying proline, so always CCU only code for proline and nothing else. So here genetic code is called as non-ambiguous. So, two different amino acid will never be encoded by the same codon. Now next is initiation codon and termination codon. So AUG always an initiation codon in any and every mRNA. Yes, and AUG codes for methionine. So out of 64, 1 is initiation. Yes, 1 is initiation. So yes, 61 amino acids, they code for protein, whereas 3 are stop codon. 3 codons, that is UAA, UAG, UGA. So these are the stop codon, or we can say termination codon, that terminates or stop the process of elongation of polypeptide chain, so as they do not code for any amino acid. So these 3 do not codes for any amino acid, and where it is present at the terminator point, so that they are called as termination codon. Now next is codon and anticodon. So codon is a part of DNA. Example, AUG. AUG is what? Codon. And it always represent as 5 to 3 prime end. So anticodon is what? It is a part of tRNA and is always represented as UAC from 3 to 5 prime end. So the anticodon of, like here AUG, the anticodon is UAC. So as we know, always guanine base pair with cytosine and uracil with adenine, uracil with adenine. So this is what, if I am saying like the codon is GGU. So what is the anticodon of this GGU? That is, anticodon is what? We can say CCA. Yes, adenine with uracil or cytosine with guanine. Other way, if I am saying here the next codon, that is CCA. Yes, so the anticodon of this, like C always pair with G, pair with G, and this with U. So GGU. So this is the codon and this is the anticodon. So these are the characteristics of genetic code. Now we'll see the mutation and genetic codes. So mutation is what? It is a phenomenon in sudden change in the DNA sequence. The sudden change which takes place in the DNA sequence, that is what the mutations. So it results in the change of genotype or the change of character. So along with recombination, mutation is what? The raw material for the evolution, and due to mutation there will be variations. So during mutation, possibility of deletion or insertion of a segment of DNA that results in the alternation of chromosomes. So mutation can be occur due to the change in the single base pair of DNA. So it is known as the point mutation. For example, like sickle cell anemia. So we can see this is the normal one. If any change in the pattern of the gene, then that is what the mutation, then always it will be different from the normal one. So this mutation is always, there is always, as we know, there is some possibility of addition or deletion, insertion or deletion in the segment of DNA. So that is what, due to that here there will be alternation in the chromosome, and that is only what called as the mutation. So deletion or insertion of the base pair of DNA that causes the frame shift mutation or deletion mutation. So here insertion or deletion of two or one or two bases that change the reading frame. If there is any change in the pattern of the sequence of the nucleotide, any changes in the codon sequence, then that is what the mutation. So if any changes happen, so that is what called as point of insertion or deletion. So insertion or deletion of three or multiple of three bases, so that results in the insertion or deletion of amino acid, and due to that here reading framework that remain altered from that point. So wherever addition or deletion takes place, there will be always the reading framework will be altered. The codes will be read, cannot be read for the particular amino acid in case of any changes in this pattern. Now let's see the tRNA. tRNA, the adapter molecule. As we know, why the name is given the adapter molecule, why tRNA is called as adapter molecule. So yes, scientists, they considered that there has to be a mechanism in which tRNA will read the codon. Yes, tRNA always read the codon and also simultaneously bind amino acids. As amino acids doesn't have any special capacity to read the codon, amino acids cannot read the codon. So tRNA, they can read this codons, as they have the ability to read the codon and binds the amino acid. So that is the reason tRNA is considered as the adapter molecule. You can see this is the clover leaf model of tRNA that possesses an anticodon loop. This is the anticodon loop that has bases complementary to the codon. So it is what called as anticodon. It shows amino acid acceptor, and so that is third end. Third end is what? This end. This end, where this is the amino acid which is attached with the 3' end. This is the 5' end and this is the 3' end. So third end, you can see here amino acid is attached. So it shows amino acid acceptor end. So having unpaired CCA bases to which amino acid binds. So for every amino acid there is a specific tRNA. Initiator tRNA is specific to methionine. For methionine, initiator tRNA is different, and for other amino acids here different. The tRNA is specific for specific amino acid. There is no tRNA for stop codons. For every codon specific tRNA is there, but for the stop codons here no tRNA is there. So in the actual structure, the tRNA molecules look like inverted L. Here's three-dimensional structure. You can see like this three-dimensional structure looks like L. So this is about the tRNA. tRNA is what? Considered as the adapter molecule, because this tRNA will always adapt the amino acid. So now in this way we had discussed about the genetic code, about the characteristics of the genetic code, mutations, and the tRNA, which is the adaptive molecule, in detail. And now in the next lecture we will discuss in detail about the translation, where protein synthesis will take place from the mRNA.